Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks. Although today, obviously, we are going to be on a nature walk. I have a favor I want to ask you today, all of you who have clicked through, whether you're a long-time viewer or just found the channel. And I'm going to actually get back to that in a second, but I want to flip you around and introduce myself. Oh, hold on. Got a train coming through. This is the canyon on the way to Bozeman Pass, which is off to the east here. And we are actually in Frog Rock Trail. We started at the end, and we're going to walk back towards the trailhead. I don't know if we'll make it all the way back. But in any case, let me flip you around here, and I'm going to ask you a big favor to help me out. Won't take you 30 seconds. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Hi there. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your co-discoverer and virtual travel guide. The favor I have is I really enjoy making these walks and filming them. It's great. And I thank all the Patreon supporters and coffee supporters and PayPal supporters that help me out. I appreciate that. It makes a huge difference. $5 doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up and it does help. The favor is to tell me why you are here. What led you to this channel and this walk? What made you click on this particular video? What were you looking for? What were you hoping to get? And just a quick one sentence in the comments below. I would really appreciate it in the YouTube comments. That would be great. So I'm going to flip you around again, and we'll get on with our walk. 1, 2, 3. All right. As I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I'll start out talking, maybe some in the middle, but mainly it's going to be a nature walk. And despite the traffic on I-90 there and the sound of the occasional airplane and train, it's a really pretty day. So I'm starting at the end of Frog Rock here. The trailhead is on Trail Creek Road. And there's an exit right off of I-90 there. Very accessible and a fun little trail. Pretty easy too, I would say. Here's another view of the valley. Beautiful, beautiful day here in September. It is, what is it? It's 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. Probably a little warmer than that now, but anyway, it's a beautiful day in September. About, what is it? 11:30 in the morning. This is sort of a trail that branches off of the Chestnut Mountain Trail and leads over to Frog Rock, which is kind of a climbing area, but it's a really pleasant trail and great for families and very accessible from both Bozeman and Livingston. I live in Livingston. And it's popular, especially the Chestnut Mountain Trail, half of it. But not crowded, which is nice. In fact, I saw a couple ladies with 4 or 5 happy dogs chugging along the trail earlier. Dogs were loving it, so were the ladies. And so am I. What else did I want to say? I thank my Patreon supporters. Thank you again. Check out citywalksvirtualtours.com, the website, and the Facebook page, City Walk Virtual Tours for All. Share articles and other walks, and find articles and other walks about walking and the health benefits. I do have my bear spray today, but I don't anticipate any bears around here. It's pretty noisy with the road and with other hikers and dogs and that sort of thing. But I did see 2 bow hunters as I started my way up from the trailhead. It is bow season here in September in Montana. And I think we're just going to walk for a little bit, if that's all right. Last week I walked us around in Livingston, and Starting to see just a little tinge of fall. A couple little trees had some yellow leaves. Up here, we're, I don't know, maybe 800 feet higher. Fall's a little bit more evident a week later as well. And we're starting to see some of these low bushes change color. You can see that up here on the left of the trail. And it's really pretty. It's a beautiful, wonderful time of year. I love fall. And the smell of the warming forest, the pine and the bracken, and then down lower there's some little creeks, wet areas. Oh, it's just glorious. I've been sort of craving getting out onto a trail somewhere. It's easy to get caught up in life and work and sit in front of the computer or the television or on the couch reading, or even in your backyard, but getting out in the woods, in nature, I just find it really relaxing. And it sort of lets me let go of a lot of the angst and shoutiness of everything that's going on in the world. Here's some berries. Brilliant red in with the green and yellow. It's also nice when we're going to wrap around here and there's a little draw off to the right. You can see some mossy stuff on the ground here. All these little cones from squirrels dropping them, I think. And the cool air, shaded air flows down this draw. It's like a little air conditioner coming down. Isn't that pretty? Look at all the moss. Interesting, the little microclimates and micro ecosystems. Further up here it gets drier very quickly and the moss goes away. Up here we're sort of, it's a steep little narrow valley that we're walking around. And up here over to the left, here's some of it. I'll do this again up further. But you can see why this area appeals to climbers. With all that rock up there. I don't know how good of a rock it is for climbing, but they've got these crazy fins sticking up. Really beautiful. That seed pod or something. These little truffula tree looking things. I'm breathing a little heavily. We are up fairly high, but hopefully it's not too annoying. It's more of the rock. You can see a lot of the color up there, kind of yellow and red. Here's a good shot of it. Isn't that pretty? can see off to the left and right and ahead a lot of deadfall, so trees that have died and then eventually fallen over. And that's actually a natural thing. It's a natural process. Those nutrients get put back into the soil. Insects feed on it, microbes. Other plants grow from the nutrients in the soil. Animals feed on those plants. Mammals, browsers, and then predators feed on those. It's a whole long-term cycle, which is pretty interesting. And you can see or imagine why, if we didn't have trails cut through here, if you were just here exploring or blazing a trail or hunting, it'd be pretty tough going. Not only is it steep, but you're making your way through a tangle of old logs with pokey bits. Really is a lovely trail, even with Interstate 90 going through here. And Interstate 90 has just gotten busier and busier and busier over the years. In the summer, they've been doing a load of construction, and so the traffic has been sort of narrowed down. And nothing like LA or Chicago or some other big city, but definitely slower and more congested than people are used to around here. If you're commuting from Livingston to Bozeman and back, it can double your commute time. Little squirrel on the tree up ahead. Not happy about us on his trail or her trail. Look there. I don't see a lot of squirrels. I guess a little bit more in the mountains, but compared to back east, we just don't see a lot. I don't know if it's because the the ecology is too harsh, the environment's too harsh for them, or too many predators, combination of both. But I find that interesting sometimes, so it's a little bit of a surprise when you see one or hear one chirring at you. One of the big things, this is going to be my perambulation pontification for the walk, I think. One of the issues, I guess, in this area that is starting to get a little more attention is traffic hitting wildlife. And I don't call it wildlife fatalities because there's a lot more to the damage than that. That's bad, obviously. You can look up, this is Bridgers, you can see Baldy in the background. There was a fire 10 years ago, 5-10 years ago. Started up high, went over the far side and burned a bunch of houses. In any case, there's been a big push for some wildlife overpasses to be built. I've seen dead bears, dead moose, dead elk, dead deer, and little guys too, possums and skunks and stuff in the pass. And it's tragic. Each one of those fatalities probably caused somebody thousands of dollars in damage to their vehicle. I've hit a deer, not in here, but over by Ennis, and nearly the insurance company wanted to total the vehicle. Luckily, I talked them out of it because it was a Toyota truck and I wouldn't have been able to replace it with what they were offering. In any case, that has a huge impact because when those insurance companies pay out, they need to recoup that cost through our payments, our insurance fees, premiums. So, and they've done all sorts of studies on this road and this section of road, and there's just, it adds up, right? $5,000 here, $5,000 there, and all of a sudden, I'll get back to that in a second. See a climbing access arrow, that's for this trail here, which is, you can barely tell is a trail. This other main trail is the Chestnut Mountain Trail, and it goes up to the top of Chestnut Mountain. It's a much longer walk, but also pretty popular. We're going to continue along this Chestnut Mountain Trail down towards the trailhead. In any case, the initial upfront cost of a wildlife overpass should ultimately save consumers and insurance companies, just about everybody, money in the long run. And it allows wildlife to migrate over these, what are basically walls of traffic to them. They've been shown to basically prevent migration in certain areas. So I'm all for it. There are a couple underpasses, but certain animals don't use those as much. So an overpass would be awesome. So my hat that you saw when I directed the camera at myself is from Yellowstone Safe Passages, and they're trying to get something together for 89 South out of Livingston. It's getting tons of traffic now with all the traffic to Yellowstone, much more than it has, and we're seeing more and more wildlife collisions. And thought I heard a voice. And they can be very dangerous for people. People can get injured, seriously injured or killed. So we had a friend that hit an elk on that section of road. And again, nearly totaled the car. It was a sedan, and he could have been really, really injured. So I'm in favor of that. So hope you will pay attention to that going forward, that issue. And that is the end of it. You can see some mud here and some bike tracks. This is not only a hiking trail, but you can ride your horse on it, or you can ride your bike. And I think it's fairly popular for that. It's probably above my level in terms of climbing and technical riding, but who knows? I haven't tried it, so I don't know. A little wetland area in here. It's wet, but it's not running. It's gotten pretty dry this year at the very end of summer. It's supposed to be a harsh winter. We'll see. Here's some water. I do hear some people talking. It's surprising how quickly the sound of the highway can fall away. I do know that that sound can carry for a long ways. Big trucks and Harley Davidsons and that sort of thing, rumble strips. Again, the smell of the grasses and the trees. Oh, it's lovely. Here's a little flow of water. Old deadfall tree. It's nice. In the fall, is it the fall or the spring? I think it's, anyway. Grouse, ruffed grouse. Their mating display is to get on a log like that, maybe a little bit more level, and they stand on there, or maybe near it, and they flap their wings. And it reminds me of an old diesel-style tractor with a little smokestack. It goes pop, 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 and you can hear it for a long ways off, which is the point. It's kind of a neat sound. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those in here, or I think it's a spruce grouse, might be down here. There's another one called blue grouse. Now, blue grouse down low, and then spruce grouse I think are up high, and they're much larger. Pretty cool. The straight tree trunks there. I believe those are probably lodgepole pine. Not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which the scientific name is Pinus contortus, which seems odd since they tend to be very straight trunked and not contorted. I'm not sure the derivation of that name. But I think they're called lodgepole because native people would use them for their teepees or lodges. Not giant ones like that, but maybe something more like this one that's fallen. I think I have that correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. As always, I welcome your feedback and your thoughts and your corrections and advice and requests, as long as it's put forward with kindness. I'm really surprised at how few negative comments I get. You know, every once in a while somebody's super entitled and rude, and I just assume they're trying to get a reaction. And for the most part, I delete them. But a lot of times people give me corrections and extra information and requests that I do things differently, which is all welcome. And I do read all the comments that make it through the YouTube filters, which are not perfect. Every once in a while I go in and see something will pop up from 4 months ago or something, and I don't understand why it didn't just come through. There was nothing wrong with it. So, in any case, I do read and respond to pretty much all comments that are past the YouTube filter and my filter. So, all the different colors of green. Love it. I don't know where this trail goes off to. It looks like maybe somebody tried to put some logs here to indicate you shouldn't go down there. I'm not headed down there anyway, so no worries. There's another train. The difference in temperature between the sun and the shade always astounds me as well. Look at all this orange leaves, everything turning. Oh, it's wonderful. Pretty little meadow down here to the right. Maybe not a meadow, but a clearing. Tons of these white berries. I think they're called snowberries, but I'm not entirely sure. Mixed in with some rose hips every once in a while. Some rose hips, these red berry looking things. I think that's their wild rose plant. Cool. Love the light coming through these leaves. Aspen tree, some willow trees. When we get down to the bottom here, we'll cross a little creek, which is also pretty, and the smell of it, of the willow and the wet grasses and everything, is just really super pungent and just like a perfume almost. Hi there.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So a lot of this area was conserved by an organization called the Gallatin Valley Land Trust, which you can see right there. And they've locked off some of it to let it just be wild. And I think they maintain a good section of this trail, but it's a wonderful form of public access, because if this was privately owned and somebody built a house or a business up here, you might not have access to the Forest Service land. I could be wrong, maybe this is locked in, but access has been lost before. So they do a lot of good things with preserving open space in the Gallatin Valley, in Gallatin County, which we are in. It's thick in here. You can see how it'd be easy to stumble onto a bear or a moose. See I just don't know where all these cars are coming from. There's so many cars on I-90. It is a Sunday. Maybe people are heading back from vacation. I don't know. Here's our creek. Look how pleasant that is. Get a better look at it up here, but you're starting to get that smell of a creek bottom. Looks like a dog got in and walked over here, or more than one. The wind and the trees as well. Love it. Oh. All these trees along the bank cast shade and help keep the water cool, and that makes it healthy. I don't think there's really any fish in here, and trout or anything, but it makes it a happier place for trout and insects and that sort of thing. So when things get cut back and scoured, it changes the livability or habitability of a creek. So it's great that this is left untouched. Here is our Chestnut Mountain trailhead, maps, signs, closures, grizzly bear area, and you can see some other signs here. No e-bike or pedal assist allowed on this trail. And this is Frog Rock Trail number 463, Chestnut Mountain Trail number 458. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me as I get back here to the parking lot. Plenty of parking here at the trailhead. It's sort of all along the road here, Trail Creek Road. We are going to head out west on Tuesday, and I'm going to try and film some city walks and nature walks along the way. I hope you'll come back and see me. Thank you if you have gone ahead and filled out or responded about your intent around this video. So if you know, whatever your intent was when you clicked on the video, that's what I'm trying to get to, and I really appreciate your response. Thank you very much, and we will see you again soon. Until then, keep on stepping.